Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the beLine podcast. Excited to have our special guest today. I've known this guy for numerous years. I want to say almost a dozen years now, and excited to hear his story. Love to welcome to the podcast Cory Rutter from Rutter Roofing.
My man,
How are you, sir?
good to be here.
Thanks for coming.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
No,
Oh
it
my
has been a
gosh,
long time.
time flies when you're having fun.
It does, right? We met at at that BNI group,
Mhm.
right, a long time ago.
Main line.
Yeah,
Yep.
even before that. Plymouth Meeting 2, I think it was.
Oh, right.
Plymouth Meeting
Oh my
2,
gosh,
right?
that's unbelievable.
6
I
7
was I
AM.
was working the circuit of the VNI groups at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I was literally like morning group, afternoon group,
Just going, yeah.
find the business card exchange at night. Like
Yep.
I was rolling.
I think it was right before you started the office on Germantown Pike.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what year that was. We were there for
Had to be 12, 13.
something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Something like
great
that.
way to start, right? So, like, take us back to the beginning. Like, take us back to when you started the business, why you started the business. Like, how did
It
Rutter Roofing start?
Honestly, it's a lifelong addiction to entrepreneurism.
Yeah.
I mean, just I remember I would do anything. I created these little mini business cards. I was still in high school, and I would do anything: landscaping, odd jobs, repairs, roof repairs, anything. And it was just part of my nature. I go to college, get a business degree, and I came out and I was like, well, my dad was a roofer, and so I grew up doing that a lot. So I knew roofing really well, and I had a business degree, and it's like, well, what makes the most sense here? So I started with a company. I was there for a few years, and just every single day, you're like, I can do this better.
Yeah,
I can do this better.
I can do.
And I just got to that point, and you know, Rudder was born.
Nice.
January 2010.
2010, All right, that's when we started. We were like March, so we were right after you, a couple
Yeah.
months.
I'm
That's
your
cool.
big brother.
Yeah. 16 years old. That's awesome.
16. It's not supposed to go time like that, but it does.
When did it start feeling like a real business, right? You started in January 2010.
Mhm.
When did it start feeling like, "Hey, I'm really onto something," right? The business is coming in. I know roofing now because of my history. Like, when did that start?
Well, it definitely felt like a business my first job right out the gate
Yep.
because I had been on so many different sides, but it was never on my shoulders, like every piece of it. And there were so many like challenges. Just job one. And I was like, "Oh, I'm in it now. I'm deep in it now." And but really, as that first year went through, and I had so many challenges and failures and successes, and like you learn so much from those experiences that I had gotten through the year. I showed up to my accountant's table with handwritten numbers and
We've all
everything,
been
and he
there.
looked at me like I was crazy. Um, but all of those trials and tribulations, like you learn, you make it through, and then once you kind of got past that first year, you're like, okay, now I know what to do. You start making decisions in a different way from a different view, and it just, stuff starts to click,
Yeah,
you know?
very cool.
So yeah, I would say that it was kind of like right out the gate, and then, kind of getting through everything with that first year.
So tell me about, like, the journey, right? Like, I'm a big fan of Alex Ramosi. For those that don't know, Alex Ramosi is like this marketing mastermind, and he has different stages in business, and I just read a big article on this and did an exercise ourselves on it, but he has these stages, right? The 4 stages of a business, and there's that one stage that's like the valley of death, and then you have to come out of that valley, and it's so much brighter on the other side, but most businesses, they don't come out of that valley. I myself have been through at least a half dozen valleys, and I keep telling people, like, whether it's an employee issue or a client issue or an operational issue, like, there's so many valleys that you have to overcome, but you have to keep trucking through them. Like, obviously, you've been through some valleys yourself, I assume. Like, what keeps you going?
I think it's just this it's an addiction to like succeed. Like everybody who knows me knows I'm an all gas, no brakes guy.
Yep.
I'm a no failure guy. Like just by my nature, that's just who I am. I love the underdog story. I'm a Rocky Hulk Hogan at the time when I was a kid, like
Yeah.
I was all of those. Let
Rest
the
in
good,
peace, Hawk.
yeah, that's right. Let the good guys win, make that big comeback and the crowd goes wild. Like that's my everyday.
Yeah.
Like that rush and that feel, like I feel that every single day. And there's been some very difficult times that I've gone through, and to get through those, it's an even bigger thing. Like, I've worked with family, which has its own, tests
Challenges
and
for sure.
challenges.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been there, yeah.
But it also led to my greatest successes because at the end of the day, like I have the most incredible mom that there ever was.
Nice.
And, to come out of having a working relationship to be in that place is like an amazing thing. But, you know, that rush, it's really just like that,
Yeah.
people, sports guys, they say get jacked up,
Yeah.
like that's just really what it is to face those challenges. And I did. I worked with this great guy. His name is Dan. He was a business coach that I had used a long time ago, and he's also a client of mine, which makes him even better of a person, of
Yeah,
course.
for sure.
And he would tell me about the levels of business and revenue and what challenges you're going to hit. And, you're going to feel like you're on the top of the world. And then you're going to feel like you're at the bottom of the valley, just like you said, and that comes on a daily basis for us, where our bank account is hero one day and the very next day you're zero. And I was used to that. But he was right. There are different levels of business that you do, and there's going to be different challenges that come up along your entire path.
Yeah.
And so that was really important for me to learn and to hear from him because then I knew to expect it. And then it doesn't really rattle you as you go through it.
Yeah, I think you said 2 really important things there that kinda strike a chord with me is entrepreneurship, like and we talked about this a little bit downstairs right before we started. Like, you have to be obsessed. And I think success comes from that obsession, and it's something that entrepreneurs have this special trait, like, you just keep going, like, no matter what. Like, tell us about your obsession with that.
Well, at first, it started with an obsession for the way that I saw others not doing it as good as it could be. I was like, I can do this better. And ethics is a massive part of who I am
Sure.
and what I expect. And so now it's turned into how many people can we be this obsessive about what we do and good at what we do? A lot of times people will, you hear that, well, nobody cares as much as the owner cares or
Sure.
something like that. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that there are lots of really great people that really do care. And I personally think that my company is absolutely filled with them. And they motivate me every single day. Um,
I mean, your office is awesome. I've been there obviously, and that just your conference room, like, tell everyone, like, what went into setting up your conference room, and tell us about what's on the wall.
yeah. So we do have a lot of customers that come in. We do a lot of design, siding, windows, what exterior can look like when we're done with the project and all that. And the most common question or comment that I get is people walk in and they see our back wall, and it is filled with all of these words that go from hardworking to family, which is in the center, to ethics, respect, fun, just literally like 100 different
Yeah.
words that are up on that wall. And it really is just kind of like, in essence, who we are. Like, I really feel that everybody is really accountable in my company, but they do it in a way where everybody's having fun.
Sure.
You do your job and you have fun, like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
And that wall that's in that conference room is literally you walk into that wall, you walk into my office. I took the wall out so it's all glass so that people, when the second you walk in that door, you look right in that conference room and you see that wall.
That's all. Yeah.
I just think that that was just such an important piece of, like, establishing our culture, is
Yeah.
people being able to see that, read that, and feel it every day.
And tell us about that. Like, so for all the other roofers that listen in right now, like culture is so big, and obviously everyone is challenged with culture at different times. So like you did that well and very intentional for clients, for employees. Like, how is it different, and why should someone else consider something like that?
I mean, you really have to, words are words, but honestly, it's mainly buy-in. Like, all of my people, they choose to buy into that type of atmosphere, and that's how you get the best results and put forward the best service. It's important for us to have customers come in and see that and know that they're in a place that's a protection from any negativity that's in our industry, which there's enough of.
Sure.
There's plenty of it,
Yeah.
which I don't like to have to say, but there is. But that it's a safe haven. Like people see that and they understand this is what we're about. This is who we are. We're not for everybody,
Sure.
but if you hire us, we're going to be accountable. We're going to do our job. It's going to be amazing, but we're going to do it with a smile on our face,
Mm.
and we're probably going to like say a joke with you and like let you know that yes, we understand it's very expensive. But you can have it doesn't have to be like this weight on your shoulders.
Sure.
Like it can be an enjoyable experience. You can enjoy the result. You can enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And
And
so
that's
that's
built
what
into
we
your sales pitches, that's built into your follow-up and follow-through. All the teams know that?
everybody that goes out, we do a very so our business is a little bit different where we're very heavy on our front end sell where we don't, there's a lot of companies that will sit down and it's like 2 3 hours at the table, and we're happy to do that
Yeah.
upon
Some people
request.
wanna have dinner with you.
Some people want to have dinner with them and they won't, got to kick them out. And there's this amazing price. But if you sign with me today, it's 10,000 less.
Yes.
There's a lot of crazy stuff out there. So we're very respectful of people's time and we invest the same amount of time as what they invest. So if we understand that it's something where people's just looking for one of eight numbers,
Yeah.
probably not your guy. I'm going to allocate as much time as you're allocating to it. We have somebody that really truly cares and wants to know what that result's going to be like, and wants to make sure that they're not getting duped or any of the. We're a safe haven from that. So like that's what we try to express to everybody that we go out to. And we're very heavy that the first time we meet you, we establish that.
Yeah.
We establish those boundaries and expectations and all that stuff and let them know, let your guard down because we're the good guys.
Yeah.
And I think that goes a long way for people who are spending a lot of money. I
For
mean, it's
sure.
not cheap,
Yeah.
and I understand that.
And they protect their number one asset, but it still costs money to do.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm the same way. Like if
Yeah.
both of us, if we need a plumber,
Yep.
an electrician, a painter, like we have to hire for those services.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go through the same thing. Well, what would I want to experience as I was going through that?
For sure.
And
Yeah.
so that, I kind of try to do it that way.
It's awesome. Yeah, I'm going through it right now. I'm hiring someone to do, like, landscape lighting for us, and it's their values are so important because we wanna make sure it's done right and done on time and not a fly-by-night company.
And when you talk to them, y- you don't want to know every last detail of engineering of landscape
Yeah.
lighting. You want to find somebody that you trust,
Yes.
that you believe knows those things, and you're comfortable working with them.
Yes.
That's what I try to tell people too. Don't be a roofing expert. Don't be a siding expert, windows, whatever service we're doing. Find the person that you trust.
Yeah.
If it's not me, that's okay. But I definitely think that finding somebody that you're comfortable with and that you trust, and it's like a
Yeah.
relaxed, kind of easy conversation and all that, like more often than not, I'm not the only good contractor out there.
Sure.
There's good contractors.
But
Um,
you don't go in the kitchen of the steakhouse and say, "Hey, how are you cooking my steak and what seasonings are you putting on there?"
yeah,
You expect it to be done good and you enjoy
yeah.
it. So
That's actually one of the best things that I was told. Former company, the guy goes, you're talking to all these different contractors, right? Well, if you went in the kitchen of your favorite restaurant and looked at how they were making your food, it might not be your favorite restaurant
for
anymore,
sure.
right? So like gets back to the office thing where you're like, you want to make sure that it represents who you are. I want people to go into our kitchen and see what they would see, regardless if they're in my kitchen or if I'm in their front yard.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Let's go to the sales side, right? So obviously speed to lead, not only is a buzzword in the industry, but it's a real thing. And you have to have that speed to lead, whether you're doing lead aggregators and it's a shared lead with four people, or someone contacts you through Google, or let's just say ChatGPT now. How do you guys address speed to lead, and like how important is it for you guys?
It's kind of a combination of two things. Number one, we live in the age of Amazon where everything's a couple buttons and you're there,
Yep.
right? So we want to respect that and be on top of it as much as possible. We also don't want to be the seventh person calling them within 30 seconds of them clicking a
Yes.
button. So there's kind of like a respect, but that's also how we make a living is connecting with potential clients.
Sure.
So it's definitely very important to make sure that you find some type of balance where you're maximizing on your opportunities without alienating your reputation in while doing that.
Sure.
And so some of the other programs we would call them necessary evils. With some of those programs, they have to be done right. and they have to works the way that's suited to the business and is optimal for not just the business, but for the client.
Okay.
So it's definitely, that's one of the things that like has to, like a seesaw. It can't be one side or the other. It has to be this really ethical balance
Sure.
and you
Agile
gotta
enough
play
to
it
be
right.
there, but also respect people's time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because people are humans. They're not
Yep.
stupid.
Yep.
They know that they're going to be aggravated if you're at their table for 3 hours and they're trying to eat dinner and put their kids to bed.
Yeah.
Like they know that that's going to agitate them.
Sure.
Well, it's also going to agitate them if they are getting just bombarded, and sometimes I need to remind myself of that too.
Yeah.
Corey, don't be too aggressive. I know that you think that you're great and I know that we're
Yeah.
great, but people will also be able to see that without you hounding them,
Sure.
and it's every day is a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
So
How about marketing side? How important is marketing for your business over the last 16 years?
marketing is such a huge thing and it's something that I love. I was never a big numbers guy, back in the very beginning.
Sure.
I was always a marketing guy. I was always, and maybe it was a professor that I had in college who like really got me
Mm.
hooked on the marketing side of it. He was an incredible guy. His name was Gene Remoff. And he would always teach us all these principles of marketing. And all of my classes that I was in, I was at a liberal arts college. I didn't get very good grades. In my business classes, I was all A's. I was
Nice.
dean's list.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was
That's why I've
addicted to
been in business
business.
16
I
years.
know, so I'm addicted to the business side. But to be able to market your company correctly and, know what you know and be smart enough to know what you don't know and have some type of trusted person there to be able to guide you and give you feedback and give you results and be able to kind of like show you what's working, make those adjustments for you on the fly, be able to get constant feedback. Like that is key. That is clutch. I mean, that ultimately, that's why this relationship has been so successful is because we are able to have those types of conversations and stay on top of it because without it,
Yeah.
it could be catastrophic. I
It's
mean,
always constantly changing, and
oh
you'll
yeah,
end up in that valley and not come out.
yeah. It's a tough. We all have our own business challenges,
Yep.
and some people look at our challenges and be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you have to navigate that." Well, on the marketing side, I'll say the flip side. I'll be like, "I can't believe you have to navigate this because it's not like you're learning a new thing and then you get to use that new thing once every
Yeah.
decade. It's like you learn a new thing and then you get to use it for 8 months until there's the next new
Until it
thing.
changes again. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I hope you sleep well.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I would be
It constantly
exhausted
it
with the
keeps
changes. It's just, glad that that part isn't my business, but I'm sure you love yours for
it
a whole
constantly
set of
changes.
reasons too,
Yeah. Constantly changing.
You might be a guy that loves that. I mean, it must like go keep you on your toes,
Yeah. Yes.
I would
Constantly changing.
I would be like just crazy.
And
But
each thing changed, like social media changed so much over the last 16 years, but then you have this and then you have that, and here comes ChatGPT and it changes.
yeah.
But we have to stay on top of it, right? So it's important.
And that's how old it is, I think, right? Isn't what Facebook was is like isn't Facebook about this the
Yeah.
25
Oh, 9,
years
10.
old? So 27, 28 years
Yeah.
old?
Yeah.
Which sounds like I don't know if it sounds like a long time or not a long time, but at the end of the day, that's only about late 90s,
Yeah. It was probably a little later than that.
2000,
Early
2002 maybe.
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember people were getting it in college and we were just out of college. So it's probably
Yeah, I
around
want
oh
to.
05, oh 06.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think that it was until maybe my junior year in college that I had a Facebook account.
Yeah.
I think
Makes
it
sense.
definitely wasn't
Makes
before
sense.
that.
No, it was on MySpace.
Yeah, that's all right.
The AOL dial up.
MySpace. Hey, but at least MySpace, you got to like pick your background music that
Yes.
was on there.
Yes.
Oh man, do you
Thanks,
remember
man.
what yours was?
I don't.
Oh,
Probably Rage Against the Machine.
yeah, mine was either Guns N' Roses or AC/DC
Yeah.
or maybe
I was a
Metallica.
big Rage fan back then.
Well, I mean, who wasn't?
Yeah.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
good band.
it was definitely a good band. I used to go to sleep to the radio, and they would have these wars of the two bands, and they would always play Rage Against the Machine. It was like they played it every night. I was like, how
How do you go to
is
sleep?
well? Here's the funny part. Who won? It's a match. It's like a grudge match. They'd always be like, yeah, it's Rage Against the Machine. I didn't know that that was the band name. I thought it was a band called Rage, and in the grudge match, they were going against somebody called The Machine.
Oh, no. Oh,
Learned quick, and I
yes.
realized they're a really good band.
They're awesome. Yes, very good band. One of my top 5.
There you go.
What keeps you up at night, right?
Mm.
Like, so there's obviously different business challenges from sales, marketing, operations, admin, employees, clients. What keeps you up at night?
Honestly, when you peel back all the parts of the business and you peel back everybody's job responsibilities and what your tasks are and all of that stuff, it's people. People keep me up at night. How my employees feel, how my customers feel, Ashley, my wife,
Yeah.
how she feels,
She's in the business, right?
she's in the business. And, I can't sleep right unless I know that everybody that's part of that is happy, that they're confident in who they are and what they're doing, that a customer is super happy with the result and all they want to do is gob about how great of an experience it was. I am obsessed with the people. And if I'm not fully certain that every I is dotted and T is crossed from a people
Yeah.
standpoint, that's what keeps me up at night.
Okay.
I mean, like, I am obsessed with my people. I'm obsessed with my employees, my customers.
That's awesome.
I just that is truly what keeps me up at night. I don't go to somebody's house because I need practice doing roofing.
Yeah.
We're really good at roofing. Um, we do it because we're here trying to earn a living at something that we're really good at doing and that we really enjoy. And so for me, it's not a roofing thing. It's not about the shingles. It's not about the money.
Sure.
It's about the people. It's about life experiences. You know what I mean? And that means a lot to me. Like
Very,
a lot to me.
very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important.
It's definitely the people.
People are key. That's
Yep,
awesome.
for sure.
You talked early on about like getting coaching and coaching so important for all of us in different levels. I know you mentioned this guy Dan. Whether it was Dan or someone else, like to another roofing contractor listening, like what's the greatest advice that you received over the last 16 years that kind of helped you in business?
Well, a lot of it was, again, I grew up in the age of like, I would call it the golden age of what was WWF at the time or WWE. So I was always used to like these self promoters just
Yeah.
getting, hyped up about who they were and really selling you on what they did and all of that stuff. I've been fortunate lately to work with a group, Nolan, who's been fantastic. Specifically Brian and Sydney from their team, but also their partner Steve from Tended Seed, and all of them have done an amazing job working with us and learning who we are and finding ways to make sure that as we are sitting there having fun and enjoying ourselves and doing good work and all of these things that we're really proud of, that we are having a financially healthy business. Because ultimately, if the business isn't healthy and you're not staying on top of your numbers, sometimes the fun runs out,
Sure.
and nobody wants that fun to run out.
Yeah.
And so I've been working with them a lot on what our numbers are and goals and budgeting and outlooks and um and holding ourselves accountable to
Yep.
it. Like, you can make a goal, but
Sure.
if you don't hold yourself accountable to it, then what's the point?
100%.
And
And so many early on roofers, we've seen it so many times chase that top number and totally forget about that bottom number, and then the bottom number just creeps on you.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you think a job is breaking at a certain number, but you haven't gone through all your numbers to know what you're really breaking at.
Yeah.
And for us, that was, I forget exactly what it was, but when you blended it out, it was like you think a job is breaking at X number when it was really like 10% less than that. I mean, we're losing money,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
And some people don't realize that.
you don't
Yeah.
until it sneaks up on you and you look at your account and you just went through and you did all this business and your reviews are amazing and they look you up and things are going great. And then you go and you look at your bank account and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like,
We thought
how did
we had
we
a
get
great month.
here?
Yeah.
We have this, everything's in place, the reputation, the people, the product, the service, it's all there. But what's happening behind the scenes? And that was a really important thing that we went through too, and I think probably a lot of business owners probably will go through something the same.
Yeah.
Similar industry, different industry
Sure.
altogether. So it's definitely important. I'm glad that it was a step that we made for sure to like really dive into that.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Knowing your numbers, right? We talk about it all the time. So important.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, Obviously, like AI is a craze, and we don't have to go down the AI hole, but like whether it's AI, an operations tool, your CRM, like what's your favorite tool you use today in the business?
Oh man. Well, our CRM I'm a big fan of it. Okay. It's called Acculinks. But we're in the Northeast. Acculinks is really an insurance type of business. So in the Northeast, our the customers are paying for the roofs, whereas down in the South, the insurance companies are mostly paying for the roofs because they're getting these hailstorms and
Sure.
windstorms all the time, and it's just part of their premiums. It's what they're doing.
Hurricanes.
Hurricane, that's right. So, and rain is pain.
Yeah.
So, down there, it's got a very big insurance side to it. But we've actually keep, kind of peeling Acculinks open and a lot of different CRMs. You don't have to use Acculinks, but a lot of CRMs tend to have all these features that you're paying for that you don't really know that they exist.
Yeah.
They would be a great help to you.
Yeah. Most
And
people use like 10% of the actual tool that you have.
yeah. So, like, although we might not ever use, well, maybe we will use the insurance side of it, and we do from time to time because we'll definitely work with insurance companies on behalf of the customer sometimes. But like peeling that back and finding the new thing that applies to our business, and then the game changer that it is to be able to start utilizing that. Oh my gosh, like, it's almost like a new Christmas
Yeah.
present every quarter because we dive in, we find something, we start using that, it's become a big part of our business, and it's almost like by the next quarter or the end of the year, we're peeling it back again, and we're finding another
Yeah,
thing,
that's cool.
and we sit there and we go, "Oh, this is amazing," and then we do the, "Why didn't we do
Why
this
haven't
5
we been
years ago?"
using
or whatever,
this?
it's like and in fairness, we've been busy,
Sure.
we're working and, so I get it, but that has been nice. As far as AI goes, you're right, it's probably a rabbit hole that's, like, never ending
For
right
sure.
now. Just, there's a lot of information and there's no information.
Yep.
And so I'm sure that there are gonna be parts of many businesses, that,
Good in this department, maybe not this department. Great in this department, maybe not. Like
right.
obviously you're going to start seeing that more and more.
Right, and it's all about, depending on who's listening and what your industry is and all that stuff, like, it's gonna apply in different percentages to different parts.
Right.
Obviously, there's not a good answer for AI to be actually physically taking shingles off of somebody's roof and
No.
putting new ones
Yeah.
on yet, right?
No.
So, there are answers, and we've been part of them, kind of neat, that we've seen, but nothing that's, like, ready for market or anything like that, and it's still machinery, it's
Yeah.
different, it has its own challenges, so
Very cool.
yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be ignorant to it. You definitely have to always keep an open
Sure.
mind to business, like
Now we'd still be in the yellow pages.
yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. And oh man, I mean, for roofers, oh my gosh, it was like half the book, it felt like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're like pages
Yellow
through it.
pages were all about it back in the
Oh,
day.
oh my gosh. And I feel like at the time, I mean, like, I think it was like starting to wind down towards the end when we had gotten into business,
Yep.
right about to 2010, and it
Yep.
was kind of winding down. I
It was
think,
shifting to that online.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it was like yellowpages.com or
Yeah.
something like that, right? Like, it was
Yellowbook.com, that
Yellow Book
David
dot
Carradine.
oh my gosh. So, yeah, it was, I don't think I was ever more than just a name in there. I didn't
Yeah.
have one of the full pagers
Yeah.
or anything like that, but
Full advertising campaign.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But, yeah, it's definitely things change and they change fast,
Yes.
and you gotta be on top of it. So I'm always all ears. I'm always there to listen, find what best applies to your business and, see if it makes sense.
Very cool. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, Corey, thank you so much for coming on. I know we're up on time at the beeline here, and we've had some great, valuable insights from Cory Rutter from Rutter Roofing. If you have any additional questions for Corey, 16 years in business, extremely successful roofing business in the Northeast Pennsylvania area, and shoot them our way. We'll get them over to Corey. We'll connect you. Corey, thanks so much for jumping on.
Thanks, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right, cool.